So just to conclude, one more speaker that I'll introduce to you in a moment, but just to conclude from my perspective, we started the day, I think, with a great presentation from Mark Thompson, who stood up here and I think challenged everybody in the room by saying, you know, are you willing to be radical enough to put in place the changes that digital implies to really transform the public sector? And I think listening during the day, we've heard some great examples of areas within the public sector where that is starting to happen. But from my perspective, listening to all the presentations that I've heard today, I think if there was one very common theme that runs throughout them all, it's collaboration. Everybody has talked at every stage about collaboration, both between local government organisations, with the NHS, with central government, with private sector, with third sector and social enterprises and so forth. And I think one of the things that digital teaches us is it's something you can't do on your own. The changes that it involves are too radical for anybody to do it. It needs to be done in teams. It needs to be done in collaborative fashion. And if anything, that collaboration starts small and builds big. It's not big top-down collaboration. It's innovative, iterative, ground-up collaboration. Now, the public sector hasn't always been organised in that way, and the public sector hasn't always had a culture of doing things from the ground up in an environment where its funding and its policies are often set from the top down. But I think perhaps that's, if there was one thing that I would take away from today, it would be that challenge of how can you all step away from here and collaborate from the bottom up to make the change in public service delivery that digital gives you the opportunity to do, and to help you to be able to deliver better public services at the same time as meeting the austerity challenges that you are inevitably going to be facing over the next 5 years at least. So it's been a really interesting day to think about that. Now, of course, this being Socitm's event, Socitm is one of the great proponents in the public sector of collaboration and one of the great enablers of that collaboration as well. So I think it's fitting to finish the day today with one last brief speaker. So I'd like to invite Nadira Hussain to come up. For those of you who don't know, and I hope most of you do, Nadira is your new Socitm president as of lunchtime today. Took over from Nick Roberts. And Nadira is going to close things off today with a few of her own thoughts. Nadira.
Very few words, very conscious of the time. Good afternoon, colleagues, and thank you for staying till nearly 5:30. We are overrunning, so my brief words following on from what Brian has said. What a great conference. Peter talked about buzzing, working in the public sector. Today was buzzing for me. Certainly from what I've seen, the conversations, the networking, the dialogue, chewing over the cud, as they say, in terms of the food for thought that we've had during the day. It's been fabulous. So thank you to everybody who's been here, who's participated, to all our Socitm colleagues and our partners who've helped pull today off. Secondly, so as the new president, we've talked a lot about, is it revolution? Is it evolution? One of my key themes during my term in year is going to be women in IT. So I am extremely excited about the opportunity of grouping some of our existing colleagues, working together, creating not only a group that can facilitate the networking and sharing of experiences and leadership and creating positive role models for internal people, but also I want to establish an initiative that will help young school leavers understand that there are real opportunities within ICT for them. So a really positive year ahead. I'm hoping that we can take some of the conversations today into our annual conference in October, whereby we will further exploit the opportunities that digital present for us, reform for revolution, and let's march further forwards collectively, collaboratively, and making the difference that we all want to make to the people that we serve and the public sector that we belong to. Thank you.